Bronson and Samson lived with their mother until Bronson was 2 years old. And then after that, they lived with their father for another year. And that was the last time they saw their mother. Between the ages of 4 and 7, Bronson and Samson lived with the Crowells. Mary Ann Crowell was a family friend with the father, Will, and it was like a Hanai relationship that they had with the boys. At age 6, their mother died, and when Bronson was 8, both boys were moved to live with their maternal relatives in Texas. A year later, when Bronson was 9, he and Samson were separated, and Samson lived with yet another relative on the mother's side. And when Bronson was 11, he was returned to Hawaii and moved into another foster home, not the Crowells, a different foster family. And this foster placement continued, but all told, Bronson has been in 10 foster homes. He didn't know where anyone was at all, none of his relatives.
When you first enter foster care, it kind of seems like your family rejects you. They don't want you. Most kids believe that. I used to believe that. About 3.5 years ago, I asked Patrick Spencer, my social worker, if it was possible for him to get my brother's phone number because I really wanted to talk to him. And he did, which was pretty cool because, at that point, I was eager to talk to my brother again. And I called him. He said that he missed me and that he loved me. And at that point, I realized that I wanted to meet the rest of my family. So I started asking Patrick if he could find some of them, any of them.
We got a list of possible relatives, and there was one person with a phone number. And we knew it was related to his father. This person was related to the father. And actually, the social worker was with me, and he made the initial call and just introduced himself and asked if this man knew Bronson, and that Bronson was a youth in foster care, and the man said, yes, I'm his uncle.
I found out when I was still a young man that my mom had passed away. So the only parent that I thought was still alive was my dad. So I wanted to find him above anybody else to find out what happened between him and my mom. And after that, I wanted to find, my closest relatives, uncles, aunts, cousins, if I had any more brothers or sisters.
Bronson's family on the father's side is very large, and several of them have stepped forward to show their support by having Samson come out to stay and having a large family reunion for them. And Bronson was invited to his cousin's wedding, where he met even more relatives. And one of the cousins came to his graduation. In terms of finding the father, I had heard from the uncle that the father was probably in prison, didn't know which prison, mainland or Hawaii. And I called OCCC and he wasn't there. And then I called Halava and they said he was there.
I just first saw my dad earlier this year. Went to a family court with my brother when he came down to visit me. I went with my newly found relatives, and we all went to go see my dad in court. And we had a really enjoyable moment where I just felt protected, even though he was still in chains. I had found my dad. I felt really happy and really sad at the same time. And then when we parted, I broke down and I just started crying. I am at Halava Correctional Facility to see my dad, to show him my diploma, graduation, to say hi and tell him that I love him. Hey, Dad.
Hi, Ma.
Graduation paper.
Oh, yeah? I don't know, but what about your graduation party and stuff like that? You set up something?
I had like
Okay.
6 graduation parties I went to. Dad, you don't have to get me anything.
Why?
As long as you're okay, that's good enough.
Get you started or something. What if you set yourself up for do something?
Have a goal, have a purpose.
At least go drive to doing something, you know?
I met my dad and I found out that he's a good guy, and you know, I felt that I actually did know him because I turned out a little bit like him.
I think it's important for Kalani to understand and to know that he has a family. And I think so many times what happens in institutions like foster care and prisons is that you are disenfranchised from your family. Not on purpose, but you just are. By learning more about his family and who his family is, Kalani will learn more about himself and become a better man and a stronger man. And he will be able to carry on those family values that he doesn't even know exist at this point. So that's why I think it's so important for him to continue to make these connections with his families and to hold those close to his heart.
First day I went to work, my boss, her name is Nina, she asked me, "Oh, is your last name Kaihui?" And I was like, "Yes." She said, "Really? Because I'm related to them."
My boss told me, he goes, "Oh, we're having a new utility coming in for training." So I grabbed the file and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, it's Kaihui. Because my mom's side of the family is related to the Kaihui family. So I thought I have to meet this boy.
Graduation, I graduated, it was awesome. They called my name. I was nervous though. I didn't really want to like walk in front of all those people. I just wanted to stay there, just having my diploma while I do this, and I'll be happy, you know. I found out that my boss was actually my aunt, so that was a weird coincidence, but it was also pretty cool.
We have a professional relationship, and we have our own little personal relationship. It's not really strong, not as of yet, but he comes to me when he has a problem. So for me, I feel like I made some type of connection with him.
I feel really good about where we're at in terms of finding people who are feeling like they want to commit to him.
I am Bronson Kalani Ali'iloa Kaihui. I like to be called Kalani, as my middle name that my dad gave me. I like to read as my hobby. I like to go out, hang out with friends, shop, which is odd for a boy. I look forward to college. I look forward to my life as an adult, living by myself or with a companion, a family, growing up every day, learning new things and discovering new parts of myself, emotionally as well as mentally. I like to hang out with families most of all.